Let me pull up the agenda really quick.
We can do that too.
I tried to print it and did not. Didn't want to do that. Oh, okay, great. I've got the bylaws here.
Yes, they're looking good. Hopefully we'll be able to approve them today.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if I can pull this.
I think she's pulling it.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the agenda. But let's see, I can, okay, there we go. Just want to make sure I know what's going on here. So, okay, welcome everybody. Shall we call the meeting to order at 6:04?
Yes, all right. Is it the first motion? I equally forgot.
Help us remember.
Our chair just calls the meeting to order.
Okay, so no motions.
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Tina. Okay, and I think we need to, do roll call attendance, Tina?
Pledge of Allegiance first.
Okay.
Can
I bring up the agenda and then, Christina, do you want to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. All right. Okay, ready? Begin. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
Okay, can we do the roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Ross.
present.
Commissioner Sanchez.
Present?
Vice Chair Rojas.
Here.
And Chair Chiato.
Here, present. Thank you, Tina. May we please have verification of the agenda posting?
Yes. The agenda was posted on Friday, February 4th, 2022 at the Hollister Community Center and City Hall per Government Code Section 54954.2.
Thank you, Tina. Did everybody have a chance to look over the November minutes?
Yes.
Wonderful. Do we have a motion to approve the November minutes?
I carry the motion.
Do we have a second?
A second?
Is that Commissioner Sanchez?
Yes.
I just have to do a roll call vote.
Okay.
Commissioner Ross.
Approved.
Commissioner Sanchez.
Approved?
Vice Chair Rojas.
Yes.
Chair Chiato.
Approved.
Approval of minutes passes at 4-0.
Do we have any public comment this evening?
We do have a public comment. We have one of our residents, Robin Pollard.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening. I happened to catch that you guys the commission was meeting, and so I thought I'd come down in here and introduce myself and at the very least, tell you about the community garden on Park Hill, where we have 4 different art projects up there. Well, I consider them art projects. And so before we haven't not started another one, but I thought I'd at least find out what kind of steps we needed to go through if we were to do another art project. So I hope you have opportunity to go up there and figure out what the 4 art projects that I think are art. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
Are we able to ask questions when they step up?
It's just to hear.
Yeah, I think there's no conversation, right?
Could they hear you? You guys hear
Yeah,
Paul with
there's
pause?
no conversation. You're just hearing the comment.
And the reason why I ask is if she makes a commentary to go and see the project, like how do we get in touch with her and how do we bring that forth to the commission as something that we could potentially talk about or entertain?
There is a section under commissioner comments. You can suggest Robin's information, or I can email you Robin's information. But there is a section to discuss some of our public comment under that section.
Okay, thank you.
Good to know.
Thank you. Is there any further public comment?
There is none.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to old business. Our first order of old business is number 1, approving the ACC bylaws.
So attached is we sent the ACC bylaws, and on page, beginning of page 6, I included the public art policy, and it was very similar to what our current public art policy is. So if the commission is satisfied with our current policy, I just kind of removed Art Council and added that the commissioners will approve the art in public places. And there are some steps that have to be taken, and that we will have our 5, once we have 5 commissioners, will vote on if the art is accepted, but we will have a commission of 7, but only 5 voting members.
Yeah, it looks good to me. I'm looking at it now.
And what I would have to do is take this, the bylaws to council, but I would first have to resend the San Benito Arts Council bylaws.
Which is what we had discussed before, correct? That was part of adopting the new bylaws for the ACC now.
Correct.
Okay. Is there questions, concerns? Christina, how are you feeling?
I think it's looking good. Yeah.
May I ask also, Tina, if and you probably have explained this before, so I apologize if this is redundant, is if something comes up, something needs to change with these bylaws, do we just kind of go back and revise them and basically kind of readopt them if that is necessary? I don't anticipate that, but is that the process?
Yes, that is a process. There would be a discussion. The commission would vote on it, and then I would have to take it to council for them to finalize, or to approve, not to finalize, to approve it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
curious because what if we decide on something that down the line, we kind of run into something like, oh, we didn't put that in there. That's how we couldn't go back and kind of edit it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely, especially with this being the first commission within the city. There are, I could be different ideas on how we want to approach the commission. I think that our council will understand if we need to go back.
Okay, but it looks good to me. I like that things have been added and I took a look at it. It seems pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. I think the issue we had run into last time was the language or the addition of the ad hoc committee for the former Public Art Review Committee.
So that's on the bottom of page 2, committee members. it says the commission will be composed of a total of 5 voting members and 2 non-voting. And the 2 non are members that represent the San Benito Art Council, Hollister Downtown Association, or I put the word "or" because just in case someone doesn't want to, or someone from maybe the Art Council doesn't want to do it, or HDA doesn't want to do it, then I did add and a youth community member. I did not put the youth government. I just put a community member within a youth within our community.
Nice. So we're all kind of on the same page. And
I'm sorry, maybe I wasn't being clear. How did we end up establishing like the Public Art Review Committee that was in existence before? If we needed their support or assistance or expertise moving forward, now that it's basically going to be dissolved in some capacity, can you clarify for me where that's located in this document?
I'm not understanding the question. Are you asking if the Art Council will be included in the voting portion of it, or just as a committee member?
No, not the Arts Council, like the Public Art Review Committee that was in existence before. I think we had discussed in the last meeting that basically the ACC it was created, and they'll be kind of dissolved because the ACC was created. Mm-hmm. But if we need their expertise, which I know that we do because they were doing, a lot of work that I definitely know that I don't have the expertise in, that we would ask them to become an ad hoc committee if we needed their expertise, like RFPs, and I think like some stuff around just logistics and the law and stuff like that. And I couldn't remember where we decided to put that. I thought it was maybe in committees.
So we would, if that is the case, then as a chair, you would assign an ad hoc committee, and you would either assign commissioners or assign yourself. Then we could bring in other members of the community and include the San Benito Art Council. But the way our current draft reads is we would have a representative, if they so desire, from the Arts Council. And so we could get some of their expertise from that person. Or if as a chair or as a commission, if you feel that's not enough, then we create an ad hoc committee.
I guess what I'm trying to clarify is I'm not speaking of the Arts Council, I'm speaking of Park. So it was a whole committee
Yes.
of like, I don't even know, 6 members, that the Arts Council was only one piece of that.
Okay, so Park, so yes, I would always get, so Park is now you guys, basically.
seamless
Park,
like that,
yes,
or
yes.
does it have to be? Okay.
So
Park
essentially,
is-
we can bring in advisors then if we had a public art project and we said, okay, we need one of the members of Park to advise us, then we could bring them on as advisors for that particular project. Is that how that would work?
That's where you would create the ad hoc committee.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be the body that was in place before.
Correct.
Okay.
But if we're looking for some, not approval, but more advice on a particular project, art, the display of it, then we would bring in the ad hoc. And the ad hoc, it doesn't have to be a formal setting like what we have now. It can, you guys can kind of meet on your own time. As two commissioners can meet at the ad hoc with a resident or someone that's on the Arts Council, or you meet with staff, or all of us meet together. It's what the commission and it's more so what the chair desires.
May I ask the group and you, Tina, specifically, is there any positive or negative aspects to just excluding park completely from our bylaws? Or like, should we have anything in the bylaws that says that has been dissolved, or that just is assumed because of the new Arts and Culture Commission? I just want to be respectful of all the work they did, I guess, and like their expertise. And I'm, learning all of the bureaucracy. So I just want to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Yes. So when I give my report to council, I will let them know that I would be rescinding the current resolution that the council approved. And with that, our commissioners will now be the ones who are voting on the public art in our community. So they'll be aware. The word rescind is a key word on how I need to move forward with kind of, I guess, the word dissolving the park and bringing in our current commission.
And so because it's an ad hoc committee, it should not be noted in this document because it's been dissolved and we would only call on that group if necessary. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is there any other comments or questions or concerns at this point about the bylaws?
No.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the bylaws at this time?
I motion to approve it.
Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Was that Commissioner Sanchez?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Commissioner Ross,
Approved.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Approved.
Vice Chair Rojas,
Approved, yes.
and Chair Chiaro.
Approved.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Good job, you guys. Yay.
Woo.
Boy, I felt very nervous. I felt very nervous there.
Okay.
I mean, it's been almost like a year in the making. Those bylaws out. I mean, I guess that's just how long stuff takes, but I'm glad that we're asking the questions, because we want to make sure we're doing it right. But I'm glad that we can get together and try to make changes or amendments if we need to in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that was most important to me too, is just like, if we have to shift directions, what is the strategy and the method in which to do that? So, okay, thank you, everybody. Let's see, old business 1A, public art policy. Do you want to discuss that, Tina, or is that?
That was a part of the approval of the ACC bylaws. All the information was all together. I just wanted you guys to know that was a part of the ACC bylaws.
Okay,
all
thank
in one
you.
document, yes.
Okay, so old business number 2 is an update on impact fees.
Yes, I met with our Development Services Director, Abraham Prado, to go over the fees. We will not, he mentioned that they will not be called impact fees, but what he's looking at is a 1% of all building permit fees will go to our art and culture fund, I guess we'll call it. He said this is a common practice throughout our state, and it's just a way for cities to promote arts in their community. This could also be used for murals, culture events, or special events, parades. So he's going to write up a draft and he'll have it available Thursday. I'll review it, and then he'll give it to our attorney to review it. And then hopefully it'll go on to the agenda, the council agenda within the next month. And then I can report it at our next ACC meeting.
How exciting. Thank you,
Yes.
Tina.
I know. I thought we were going to have to go through a bigger process. I thought might have to go to the voters, but there was a way that we can use our building permit fees. So that's exciting.
Very much. Thank you.
Curious, is that residential and commercial, or what kind of building fee? Like what kind of building in particular?
Usually, that's a good question, Vice Chair Rojas, and I will follow up. I don't want to assume that it's both, but I will ask that question.
I know we have a lot more residential building in town than commercial building for sure. I like to know that.
Are you okay? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Vice Chair Rojas, are you okay with me kind of responding to you in an email, or would you like publicly?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just something I'm curious about.
Okay.
I had a question about what the, how does that look on like the contract implementation side? Does that, is that set up and then it's for a certain number of years? How does that work?
With our building permit fees, I think it would be ongoing. I think through finance, we would set up an account and fund certain 1% would be placed into the account, the arts and culture fund. But those are really good questions everyone has, and I'm going to follow up with Abraham. I think that would be something in his report too, for it to either be continuous or 5 years. But those are good questions, and I'll ask Abraham.
I have another question too. If we have this specific 1% designation, that doesn't have to be all that we seek out as far as funding. Like there could be potential other opportunities from other places to contribute to arts and culture if we wanted to, or if there was an opportunity for it.
Like donations or something, maybe like a different entity of getting funds.
Yeah, or maybe this is only residential and we seek out something commercial, or maybe.
Right.
I think there was, or not, I guess the last meeting I was at, we talked about potentially getting a little bit of seed funding from the actual city council, requesting that. How would we go about that if we wanted to pursue something like that?
Let me follow up. I don't recall that. What is seed?
To start with a little bit of money to get us off the ground.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like a base grant or something.
Okay. I know there's a lot of funding, grant funding for the arts and culture, and staff has been looking into it. So we're hopeful, but you'll see on the next agenda item that we're working on a couple of other projects too. But there's lots of funding out there. We applied for a grant, I think in April. We never heard if we received it or not, so we're still hopeful.
Does the city have an underwriter for such grants?
Not at this time.
No. Okay.
Who specifically applies for the grants?
City staff. Yeah, we've been applying for them.
Okay.
But it's hopeful. I mean, we hope. I know our council supports a grant writer of something along that lines. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be nice to have someone who actually knows for a fact where to go to seek all these different, because I know there's money out there. There's money, you know, it just, you got to know where to find it. And all right.
Well, I think that the actual finding of the grants is, and I think, you know, Amanda can also speak to this, or Chairperson Amanda, is that there are definitely plenty of funds in the arts, or not plenty. It's competitive. There's a lot, but there's, you know, they're there. It's just a question of having the right grant writer, right? Someone who really knows how to write an art and cultural grant, that's their specialty. And I think if I didn't even, I'm not sure if this was next on the agenda to talk about, but I know that in moving our work forward, we're obviously going to need funds for this, and having a grant writer would be a really nice first step.
I can add that topic to our next agenda.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Christina, do you want to share anything, or we can go on to new business?
No, we can go on to new business.
Okay.
I'm just feeling like I'm absorbing everything, because it's been a very long time for me. So, and I appreciate all the work that y'all did in November.
Of course, I'm glad that you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, new business number 1, Prop 68 grants.
This is what I mentioned earlier. The city was awarded 2 grants from Prop 68, and one was a $1.8 million grant for a new park over at Fire Station 2.
Wow,
And
great.
yes, we applied probably 4 years ago, and we were not awarded at that time. So we worked with a project officer to see how we could be, and we made some significant changes, and we applied again, and then we were awarded. So
Wonderful.
our
And
persistence
that's a
paid off.
great location too,
Yeah.
I think.
So I did, or I had Armando send the idea, the concept plan, and in it you'll see some locations for arts. There's 4 different locations. It's a yellow type of star
Yeah.
symbol a little bit. Okay. So
One
some
by
of
the
those,
restroom and
right. Some of those areas were over by the restrooms to the right. They talked
Tina,
about
I'm
a sculpture there.
Tina,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sharing it on the screen. Right?
Oh, okay.
oh, thank you.
There it is. Wonderful. Thanks, Paul. By over where the restroom is on the right side, that they talked, there was some discussion of a sculpture. That's what I'm trying to say. Over there, some sort of a sculpture of something. If we go over to the left where the workout exercise equipment is, another type of design art right there. I don't think there was a discussion of exactly what it was, but we knew we wanted some art concept right there.
Nice.
And then if we go up top over by the pavilion, that's an area where large gatherings would be. So I don't know, there was some discussion about the history of Hollister, a mural of some sort, tile pieces, children's playground area. And then if we go over to the right by the children's playground, that will be the fire station play area. So we'll have a lot of fire safety amenities in there.
Yeah.
So we thought we could have another mural and design something to do with our firefighters, because since it's near their fire station too. But those are not set in stone. Those were ideas that we had when we first started to design this. And Jennifer with the San Benito Arts Council she helped us with the first application. So we are trying to bring arts into our parks and come up with different designs. over at Dunn, some of the art over there was the chairs that we see, the different types of benches that are out there. We wanted to add a different idea and put sculptures, some fun, exciting type of.
I'm curious, out of this 1.8 million, which I'm assuming is for the whole park, right? Where, you know, who decides how much of that goes to the art of what we're able to do?
We did create a budget. You know what? I'm going to email that. I should have emailed you the budget. I will email the commission the budget. There was a portion, I want to say somewhere between 40 to 50,000 that would go to our arts, and some of it was working with a artist, them coming up with some ideas, and then of course the sculptures would probably have to have those designed. So just a lot of different ideas. But I will email you the budget and let you guys know for sure what is allocated towards arts.
Sure. When choosing, because I know we in the very beginning said, you know, a lot of these art projects, we would have people come forward. We'd have a call to order for artists, and then they'd come forward. When we discuss this I guess when we're getting more into it, they would come to they would have to come to these meetings to kind of present their idea.
I would invite them and I would encourage them to attend, yes, because our commission will have the final vote on the art, the art piece, or art sculpture or mural that's going to go in the park.
Okay.
Are there any questions on this Fire Station 2 design?
I guess I have a question, and it may have already been put out there, or the information has already been put out as well, or the answer. So excuse me if I'm asking something that's already been asked. But this, for instance, this particular project, is there like a kickoff date, or is there a sort of a date that this will commence, that we can start looking for artists, or when does this all start to take place?
Our city this is 500 feet from the city manager's home, so we had other staff sign off, but we have signed the contract. We are working with the Department of Parks and Recreation, and everything is signed off, and we've turned in paperwork. So we're going to meet as a team by the end of this week, and to have a discussion on meetings and how to move forward. We do have to go out and get 3 bids. That is a requirement as a part of the grant. So we will work on the specs to the bid, and then from there we'll have a groundbreaking day, which we would invite our commissioners, Parks and Recreation, our ACC, our city council will attend. So we're looking around a month out for the groundbreaking, and then once council approves a contract with the company, then we can move forward with developing the park.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does the public know about the grant and this idea, this conceptual art for this park?
Some of the public, I know we put it out there when we were awarded the grant. It went through recreation. I think it went through the city one. I can ask, Paul's right here, see if we can put it on the website and he said yes, and let our community know that this is our idea for Fire Station 2.
Would the public have the ability to change anything? You know what I mean? Like, would they be able to be like, no, that's too much art, or, you know?
We we are going to discuss that if we want more public input. We do have to stay, we were awarded 1.8, so we do have to stay within that budget. And we talked with our project officer, and we could make, some changes, but we have to inform them. We have to inform the state.
Zena, did you have a question or comment?
Yeah, I was wondering about the theme. Are each of these little pieces their own themes, or are we having like cohesion within, or is that even decided, or is that something that we ask the public? I know there were a couple of ideas, but
I think as a commission, it's open for discussion, and we can go over this, or if you guys, I can put it back on the agenda and we can continue to discuss it. You can think about it, go home, talk to our community members, and let them know that this is available, this is going to happen, and then come back with some input.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Would want to put this back on, get some ideas going for this next month, and maybe next meeting we can kind of outline certain maybe ideas or themes or something for each piece. I mean, in contingent that we still have all four at the end of breaking ground, but
Great.
I agree. I would like to see it on the agenda, and I would like to ensure that we have community input. And my other question, or my last question is what is the timeline for if it's going to have a groundbreaking next month? How long until? What was the proposed timeline? The grant.
The grant or the project has to be completed by 2024.
Okay.
March of 2024.
Okay. Thank you.
I had another question. It's kind of also about, is this even allowed? So a few years ago, 4 of my art classes, they created some broken plate murals they just need to be mounted, placed on like a backer board and then mounted. Is that an option could that be kind of something that's submitted to the commission as an option, any of those?
Absolutely. And I would encourage it, especially our local high school, youth. We still call them youth, although they're teenagers. But I think that's a great idea. And it's, the commission makes the final decision. Well, I keep saying that, but our council will make the final decision, but you guys, if they will always support our ACC.
what if there's, and I guess this is just piggyback off what Commissioner Ross is saying is, what if there are things that are already built that maybe someone would like to donate to add to the park, but still have the 4 planned, pieces that we would like to use the funds for. I guess what I'm saying? Her broken plate, it's already something that's made. It's already something. I guess the only cost would be to have someone mount it, make sure it's secure, and, I hope I'm making sense.
If the artist or artists decide to donate, then the cost to mount it, would be under that. Probably the maintenance of it also.
Right. I saw that.
To maintain it. So we would look into those to make sure that the art piece throughout the years is in good condition, and it's not fading or breaking or
right.
So
that's something to also think about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other questions?
Thank you for all of your work on that, and congratulations. It's very exciting.
Yes,
Thank you.
very.
Okay, so new business number 2, scheduling of the next ACC meeting.
If we can go back, we were awarded another grant.
Oh, yes, you said number 2. Sorry, Denise.
we were awarded 2 grants. I probably should have wrote them down what they were. I'll do that at the next for the next agenda. But we were also awarded a Prop 68 grant, and it was it's called a per capita grant, and it's to renovate our Dunn Park clubhouse. Yeah, our clubhouse is in dire need of a facelift, but not just on the outside of the park. What our grant was, we were awarded the grant for the inside. I don't know if our community knows, but there is an area where we rent out a space and our community members can go in there and have a party. But there's also another side to that. And I've heard before my time that it was used as a kind of a youth center for our kids in the summertime. Our community would go in there, rent equipment, go play in the park, and then return the equipment. But then after a few years, it was closed. It was given to another organization that went in there and used. It was kind of used as a storage, basically, for around 20 years. And then we have the report was given to us. There's a high toxin asbestos inside the building, so it sat there for 3 or 4 years, and then there was this grant opportunity. So recreation staff applied, and we just came up with, worked with our project officer again to see how we can, where the funds can be put, and the removal of the toxins, the asbestos, and lead paint. It was part of the grant. A brand new roof, a replacement of the roof we can use towards the grant, and then build a community room in there to include a tech center with around 5 computers.
Wow.
Open concept. We would have all of our seasonal summer camps in there. We would hope to work with a contractor for an art program in there, and then just find another company or a person that would help us with teaching the kids the coding and the programming that's so popular right now.
Nice.
So that is what we were looking at. And this grant was around $178,000 that we were awarded. So at last night's meeting, city council meeting, I asked for additional $30,000 in funding so that we could purchase some furniture and then beautify the outside, paint, repair the stucco, just other types of things. So everything was awarded. So it was around $200,000 that we will put towards our renovation of the clubhouse.
That's great.
Is the city able to, so with such possible renovations and upgrades, would the city be able to capitalize on any of that? Like, can residents apply for a permit to, I guess have like a little get together in there, or use it for a meeting space, or will the city see any money from the upgrades and the renovations, do you think?
Because this park or this clubhouse, the whole property basically was donated to us back in the 40s, the early 40s. It's in the deed, the will, that we do not charge our community. That's why the space is at no cost. So a lot of the things that we do at Dunn Park are no cost programs, because that was the will of the family that donated the land and the clubhouse to us.
How much of the 200K is set aside? I guess what part of it is relevant to the commission?
This part, so inside, I thought it would be a nice idea to paint a mural in there, paint something inside the building. So that's a good question, Commissioner Sanchez. I think we got away from that for a minute as to why it's important to the commission. But it would be something to paint inside. We can't really do much on the outside. We have to keep it the way the existence because it's in a, oh gosh, what am I trying to say? Historic, thank you, Paul, historical area. But in the inside, we could put some sort of art in there. And I want to see that be another project for our commission.
Nice.
Could we possibly have an art gallery that could have things rotating and maybe artwork selling in there?
I think that's an amazing idea. I think it's great, and just have our local artists. I know, I forget who, I think maybe the County Office of Education might have done something like that. Or did they no, I'm sorry, it was LULAC who did something like that. Very successful. So that's a great idea, Christina. Or I'm sorry, Commissioner Ross. And I will note that.
This is all good stuff. Really excited.
Very exciting. Thank you, Tina.
Yes, you're welcome.
Are we ready to move on to new business 2?
Yes.
Okay, scheduling of the next ACC meeting.
The scheduling of the next ACC meeting is scheduled on March 8th, but recreation staff will be at a a conference called the California Parks and Recreation Society Conference. Mm-hmm. The acronym is CPRS. And we're gone for that whole week. So I would see if our commission wants to have a special meeting or just meet in April. March, April, yeah.
Well, I feel, and this is my opinion, but the last 2 months, I mean, that was a big break for us. So I wouldn't want to waste another month of trying to get business done. But it's really, I want to hear the rest of the commission.
Yeah, I second that. Although, it seems like a lot, it has been done. We, the sort of meat and potatoes of, I think, why we're all in on this commission kind of feels like we're starting a little bit of that work. And if we have another break, it would, there again, break that stride.
Right. When would be available dates? Because I know different commissions meet at different times, different days, what would be a good time that we'd be able to meet up again?
I'll get together with our city clerk's office and see when dates are available, and then let the commission know. Do Tuesdays work? Well, I guess I'd have to get together with Paul too, because he has to do our Zoom.
Mm-hmm. That works for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would also be a little lost. Did we have one more commissioner is she just not present today?
Oh, I know Commissioner Chiata wanted that on the agenda, and I didn't put it on there, and I apologize. But we have not received any applications for that.
Okay.
But going back, March 15th, so the following Tuesday.
Yeah, March 5th. I'm looking at the calendar. March 15th is open here. So we could do it similar to what we're doing now with the hybrid Zoom or in person. I know that the 17th, the youth committee. Then the 21st, that Monday is city council. And then you got 23rd, 24th, our airport commission and planning commission, and then your parks and recs on the 29th, that last Tuesday. But the 15th is open if you want, or the 22nd even.
The 15th would work for me. That'd be the following Tuesday, right? I don't know.
Yes.
Whatever.
Correct.
That works for me.
Good. Okay, so we'll schedule it March 15th at 6 p.m.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody, for your flexibility. Okay, so the last item on the agenda is commissioner comments.
I'd actually like to just bring up the skate park. I had some questions on how that skate park, I believe it's not, is it true that it's not a city-owned park, that it's actually the property of the county?
Yes, that park is owned by the county, but the city leases it, and we are responsible for the maintenance of the park, of the skate park and 2 softball fields.
Thank you for clarifying. If we wanted to, say, initiate a project such as beautifying the skate park, how do we go about that?
I can put it on our agenda for next month, or yes, in March, and we can discuss it. And I would reach out to you, Commissioner Sanchez, to get some more information on what you would like.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
About the other possible commissioner, I know we'd like to keep it within their district, but what if there are people who are interested outside of their district? Would they be considered, or?
Absolutely, they would be considered. And then District 1 is Council or Vice Mayor Perez, so he would probably meet with them and discuss and then make a decision if he would like to take them. We have done it before in other commissions, especially if there's no response in a certain district.
And to clarify, we cannot onboard non-voting members until we have that seat filled, correct?
We can work on bringing in our non-voting members.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's interest from the community, some community members, I would have them reach out to me, and I'll contact our city clerk for the process.
Thank you.
Are we advertising those positions already?
It is advertised through our city clerk's office, and it was reported that we have not received an application.
And then for the non-voting ones, like the youth, because I could easily promote it at the high school. Is there something that I should send to them?
I'm going to find out the process.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll email our commission.
Okay, thank you.
When will,
Thank you.
next meeting, will we know if the bylaws were passed by the city council?
If I can get them, I have to write my report by Thursday. So if I can get it on Thursday, then it will go on the February 22nd agenda. If not, it would go onto the March 7th agenda. So it's still in time for our March 15th meeting.
Any other final commissioner comments this evening?
Are there any upcoming things, Tina, that I know we have the Valentine's Day. Anything else that the city is looking forward to?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up. February 14th is Cupid Express. We are taking registration until February 11th. In Cupid Express, our residents are able to buy a bouquet of balloons. They can choose between candy or a rose. send it to residents' homes. We are not able to send it to the schools. The schools are closed. We already asked for permission, and they told us we're not able to at this time. And then we have cute little Cupids that will deliver these balloons to your homes on February 14th. That's one of them. We have our recent Frank Clower, the reopening of the Frank Clower Park. The fences were removed today. So there's a new ADA playground area for our community. And then in return, we're doing some upgrades over there, painting the current gazebos, adding some different amenities out there. And our grand opening for that event will be March 5th at 10 a.m. And March 5th is a Saturday. So our Parks and Recreation Commission are excited. Another park is out there. And then March 17th is St. Patrick's Day. So we will have a treasure hunt at Dunn Park. And that registration will open right after we get done with Cupid Express. So those are our fun activities we have within the next few weeks.
Very nice.
I have a question. Would we be able to next year for that Cupid Express maybe put like a call to artists to design any Valentine's cards or anything for that?
Yeah, that's a great idea. In fact, I think Vice Chair Rojas talked about a mail delivery. Yeah.
Yes, I had recently seen that other cities, almost like the little food pantries or little libraries that people put in their neighborhoods, they put Valentine's. So they put like kids, adults, anybody can put Valentine's, and it's, just a cute little thing to get the city kind of, together. And I thought it was a cute idea. Maybe something like that next year. Definitely can have maybe a few Valentines that can be created and then maybe purchased like we're doing now. And then people can go take them and, either give them to people like the Cupid Express or put them in those little mailboxes. It's just a community thing. I could see a little bit of, how we can kind of incorporate the ACC and also maybe try to get a little bit of money for the city. It has to be talked about, but I thought that was a cute idea.
Yeah. Commissioner Ross, the Recreation Center shares a building with the Jóvenes de Antaño program. And for their Meals on Wheels, if some of your students are interested in making a card for our seniors, the seniors absolutely love these personally made cards, whether it be a birthday card, Valentine's, even probably St. Patrick's Day. But because their generation would make cards, right? That's how they kind of passed on different cards. So they absolutely love it. We sometimes work with the YMCA, different organizations when it comes to the holidays to get these cards out to the seniors. And if our high school would like to participate, I think that would be amazing to incorporate even our teenagers.
Yes, that would be really neat. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to send an email over to you then.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, last year or the year before, the art club actually made Valentine's cards, I think, and they sent them out to the school, sent them to the staff, actually.
Nice. I think it's extra special when you receive a personalized card.
I'm a little curious about the Cupid Express. That must be a lot of manpower to have to deliver all those on. I mean, I don't know how many you guys got, but it just seems like, wow, that's a lot.
It is. We have them set up in different routes, different areas, but we are looking for volunteers. It is pretty tough right now because usually Key Club is big supporters of recreation events and they help out. But when we're delivering, they're going to be in school this time. So
Right.
we have reached out to a couple of our adult volunteers and they'll be in there. And we are in need of a Cupid if anyone is interested in being Cupid. We provide the uniform. You get a cute little tutu with some socks and a bunch of fun stuff, wings, and staff has cute uniforms for everyone.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
cute.
This year it is a little different because we had planned to go in on that Sunday to start blowing up balloons. You know, I try not to work staff on Sundays, but I felt like we had no choice. And then I was told it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
So I was a little thrown back and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're not going. So we get to start at 6 a.m. blowing up balloons. So it'll be fun.
It's a lot of love, 6 a.m.
I know.
Okay, any final commissioner comments before we make a motion to adjourn? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:05?
I approve the motion.
I second it.
Roll call vote. Commissioner Ross,
Approved.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Approved.
Vice Chair Rojas,
Approved.
and Chair Chiato.
Approved.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, everyone, and I'll follow up with a couple emails.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great
Thank you so
evening
much. Have a
and
good
happy
evening.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.